Hey there, welcome back to the Filthy Rich Writer YouTube channel. Now today, you are going to get a special sneak peek into how we coach our students in the Comprehensive Copywriting Academy. What's coming up, is one of our laser coaching sessions, which are 10-minute sessions designed to answer really any questions that students bring to us. Now you might hear some CCA related terms, things like Pitchapalooza, which is a student-only event, but head down to the description below if you need a little bit more context. Now, our students are all in different states of learning copywriting and starting their careers and building their careers and all that kind of thing. And also, some of them want to be freelance, some of them want to be part-time, some of them want to be on staff. So you are going to hear a variety of different questions related to copywriting, business, all kinds of stuff. But I guarantee it's all going to be pretty helpful. So if you want to check out any other topics we cover, make sure you subscribe to the Laser Coaching playlist. Exciting, right? Now, even though you are not the one in the hot seat, I'm positive you will still learn a lot. So without further ado, let's get to it. Hi.
There we go. Hi again.
What can we help you with?
Yeah, so I had prepped so much for you in my interview, and then I was freaking out going, oh, I have that laser call and I want to really take advantage of it. So I wrote down a couple of questions, but really what I think I'm struggling the most with right now is just getting that consistent flow of work, which I know everyone's going to be asking about. And we've talked a lot in the group and in Pitch Blues about that kind of stuff. So unless there's something new and shiny and insightful that you're going to tell me that I didn't hear on those things, we could probably take this a different direction since
if that's your
it's a good question. And not everyone has asked that by any means. So it's a very good question. I think oh, go ahead.
No, you're fine.
Oh, I was just going to say, it comes up in the group a lot too, I think, where a lot of folks, yes, pricing is a big topic and we want to, charge for our services and charge our value. But I think what I noticed a lot is that people are prone to kind of poo-poo some lower ticket projects of like, oh, I would never do something for $50 or $100 or whatever it is. And I always say, if it's going to take you 15 minutes, half an hour for a $50 project, why wouldn't you do it? Why would you say no? And so often a lot of clients that I've worked with start as smaller projects that then maybe they need consistent, $100, $500 worth of work each month. And it becomes an easy thing to slate in. And knowing that that work is consistent, to me, I'd much rather have a few potentially lower ticket clients consistently than always looking for my $10,000 project, my $5,000 project. Right. Exactly. Not that I don't take on bigger projects once in a while as well, but I think it is one thing to look for is that just because something or a client or a project isn't necessarily like, woo, that it still has a lot of potential to lead to that consistent income, to repitch them. And, every client that you pitch work with becomes a client that you can work with again. And it's a lot easier to work with folks that you've delivered great work for than it is to continuously, pitch new clients, which you want to do as well. But
well, sure.
That's a great point. Yeah, I really love that. So what are your goals? Do you want to be full-time or part-time or?
Yeah. So to give a little bit of background, I'm the main breadwinner for my household. So it's my fiance, his mom, and me all under one happy little roof. And so the burden of income falls primarily onto myself. So I would really love to be full-time freelance just for the ability to take care of his mom more easily, just that flexibility and schedule and stuff like that. But the struggle then is feast or famine, ebbs and flows of income and trying to manage that while also not like getting evicted.
Yeah. Okay. So how many pitches are you sending out per week?
And that is my issue because I have not been consistent enough with my pitching where I'll like go on this crazy spree of like, yeah, I cranked out 50 today. This is going to be awesome. And then I don't follow up because I'm like, oh my God, that's so many. And
Burned
how am
out.
I going to follow up with them? Or
Mhm.
yeah. And so then I'll go for like weeks and not do anything at all and do the same thing over again.
Yes.
And
So that
yeah.
feast or famine, that ebb and flow, and I say this with so much love and respect and support, but that you're creating that by sending
Yeah.
out pitches in spurts. Because when you send out
Mhm.
pitches consistently, then you have clients getting in touch with you consistently, and it becomes a little bit more
Mhm.
like a flywheel. But when you send out a spurt, and also too, you so many clients are not going to get in touch with you after the first outreach, so you have to be sending follow-ups, because your
Mhm.
email is going to get buried in their inbox, and then if you don't send that follow-up, if they would have worked with you but they got lost in the inbox, it's, I don't want to say a waste, but let's say a wasted opportunity, or perhaps a
Sure.
kind of a wasted opportunity. Think
Mhm.
of pitching as going to the gym, right? You join a gym, and a lot of people do this. They get really excited. They're like, I'm going to get in shape. Now's going to be the time. And they go for like 4 hours, and they're like, whoa, this is so exciting. And the next morning they wake up and they can't move, and they're exhausted, and they're like, oh my God, I can't go to the gym today. And then they don't go the next day, and then they don't go to the next day. But maybe next Monday they start again, and they go for another 4 hours. And that's essentially what you're doing. You are
Mhm.
pitching hard and burning yourself out. And you
Yeah.
don't have to do it that way. You
Yeah, I was
could
going to ask,
go
is
ahead.
there a reason why you're doing it that way? Like, do you just get those spurts and then you do it and burn out and it's kind of a self-perpetuating cycle now? Or is
Yeah, I
there,
think that's exactly what it is, because I'll like build it up in my mind as like this impossible thing, which I know resistance that we have all talked about so much. But like I'll build it up as like, oh my God, this is gonna be so terrible. And I'm like, no, it's not. I'll just blah, 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 and like have my one moment of breakthrough that doesn't necessarily carry over into habit. And I keep telling myself, like, well, this is still better than just not sending at all, which is it though? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's better than not sending anything, right? It's better, but you're gonna burn yourself out, and you're not getting the results you need
Mhm.
anyway. So I
Right.
would recommend changing up that system a little bit. You don't have to do 50 in one day. You could do 5 a day, and if you find that, we talk about peak energy time. If you find that do you know if you have more energy in the morning or in the evening, or
Mine's in the afternoon,
okay.
like literally right in this window.
Fascinating. You're my
get off
exact
the call?
opposite.
Go.
Yeah, I know, right?
I know, it's so
Stop,
weird.
go. No, but that's great, because it's such a great time of the day. I wish I could be more effective during this time.
No, see, I wish I could be in the morning, but is what it is.
We would be the perfect person. But so then what I would do is I would block off, an hour every day from 3 to 4 p.m. and be like, all right, this is my pitching time. And I spend this time sending out 5 pitches. And, and then I also follow up with 5 pitches that I sent last week. And then,
Mhm.
and luckily the follow-ups go so much faster, as you know. But
Mhm.
instead of trying to do 50 in one day and burning yourself out so you can't do anything and not follow up until the next week, if you can do 5 a day, and also too, the more that you get comfortable with doing a couple a day and doing them consistently, the easier it's going to be, and the less it's going to feel like something impossible and insurmountable, or anything like that. 50 a
Mhm.
day, frankly, to me sounds miserable.
Well, I was going to say too, if 5 a day feels like, ugh, and that's why you're not doing it, you're just like, I'll knock them out at once so I don't have to do 5 a day because that feels overwhelming. Work up
Mhm.
to that. So say I'm going to do
Sure.
2 to 3 today. And now next week, I'll try to maybe still do 2 to 3. And then the week
Mhm.
after, I'll do 3 to 4, and keep bumping up your ranges till you build up, and until it gets quicker, because it will get quicker, till you feel like, okay, I can do consistently 5 a day. I've built that habit. So work your way up. But I would say, especially in your case, consistency is going to be key before hitting necessarily that hard and fast number. You want to keep it in
Sure.
mind because you want to work to that if you want to be full-time freelance. Absolutely. But
Mhm.
give yourself kind of the leeway. It's not like, to Nikki's gym metaphor, I'm not going to go hit the gym and run 5 miles every day for a week and say that I'm going to do that. Okay, I'll start with, maybe I'll try to run one. Maybe I'll jog, and build up. You're going to build up that speed. You're going to build up that distance. And it's a similar thing with the pitches.
Yeah. And I love that, Kate. And, the thing is too, is that you may not have to pitch 25 a week all that often, quite frankly. We say 25 to get to the point that you are full-time, and you definitely never want to stop pitching. But once you start getting those clients in, you'll be able to scale it back. You'll need to scale it back. You'll have client work to do. So you'll be scaling that back a little bit, and then you'll be repitching your current clients on additional projects, or they'll be coming to you and saying, hey, could you also do this? And you're like, yes, I can. So, you may not necessarily even be at 25 pitches a week for all that long. Sorry, go ahead, Kate.
No, I was going to say the repitch, because I know you've had clients and you've had work. So I would definitely keep those folks on your list and on your radar, because I think that doing the pitch is so much faster. Them. It doesn't feel as daunting. They're probably going to open it and be like, oh yeah, Abigail, like what's she asking about? So keep that in your mix and make sure you have that in your calendar and on your schedule to repitch them, that becomes part of your system for every client that you get in the door. Okay. I will say too, I know if your goal is full-time freelance and for the flexibility, I would still look, and maybe you already are, so this might be, you might already be on this, but looking at full-time remote copywriting jobs where there might still be that flexibility that you want, but it also may be interesting opportunities and, kind of give the best of both worlds potentially.
Yeah, I've been keeping my eye out on those and applying to ones.
But also when you're applying to work, don't apply the way everybody else applies. Don't, go onto Indeed and their quick and easy application button. Don't do that. Apply like you are pitching them. So go do the research, find out who the hiring manager is, send something directly to that hiring manager. And if it feels different from what you've done before, then think of it as pitching. Do you feel like you have your next action steps? You know what you're going to do next?
Just going to go write some pitches.
I am. I actually have like my little spreadsheet ready to go of like who I'm even going to target today.
And actually, even for your pre-step, what I would love for you to do, or not love for you to just strongly suggest you do, go onto your calendar and book out. If this 3 to 4 is your prime time, book out 3 to 4 every day, every weekday, so that nothing else can get in there. No doctor's appointments, no calls, or client call, take a client call, but still make sure that you have that time booked so that and schedule.
When I'm at my best too.
Exactly. And schedule an alarm 15 minutes before so you can wrap up whatever else you're working on, and then schedule an alarm for when you have to sit your rear end down and get down to work.
Yeah, I was trying to do them first thing in the morning, and that is just not my time.
If it's not your time, it's not your time. If I tried to pitch now, I'd be totally, totally useless. So yeah, you have to pick the time that is best for you. If now is the time, then now's the time.
Beautiful.
Good.
Well,
good for you.
For giving
You
me
can
a little
do
bit
this.
of extra time, you guys.
You are so welcome.
Absolutely.
You are so welcome. Thanks for watching. Make sure you don't miss any tips, tools, or tactics for copywriters by clicking subscribe right now. And of course, you can always find us over at filthyricwriter.com. We'll see you next time.